This time I have something a little bit different here. What is in the box? Let me show you. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at what's in this box, and I'm gonna tell you right away, it is the JT Toys Super Saiyan Goku statue. That's right, not an action figure but a statue. And it's the first time that I'm doing something like this here on the channel. Usually I'm all into articulation, but this looked interesting to me, and I also wanted to see if maybe some of you guys are also interested in something like this. A big thank you to Salix Wholesale Toy Store for sending it for a review. In case you're interested in these statues, I will share a link down in the video description, so check it out. But first, a quick look at the packaging, and it's a simple cardboard box without any images on it. This side does say that it is JT065, and because I don't have any experience with statues, all I know is that there is a JT studio that makes some great pieces, but I don't think that this JT here has anything to do with that studio. That being said, let's now open it up and let's take a look at what we are dealing with here. So straight out of the box you get a figure or a statue and a base for it. The base is kind of heavy, it has a nice weight, as it should, because it needs to hold the statue securely. At the bottom it has a nice soft material that keeps it from sliding and falling off the shelf, so that's good. There's not much more to say about the base other than that it has a simple square shape with like a few layers of steps, but that's all. It is fully black and has no writing on it. But then we get to the statue itself, and it looks very impressive. Now the way to connect the two is by simply aligning the pegs to the peg holes, and it all snaps together in a perfect fit. Goku alone is around 28 centimeters tall, and together with the base this sculpture is around 30 centimeters tall. Now this guy is sculpted in that iconic superhero wide-legged stance with arms on the side but with fisted hands. So you feel that burst of energy even in this simple stance. But when you look at it from the side, you will notice that it is slightly leaning forward, and that is of course because of this huge chunk of hair falling back. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Supersonic, you know, Supersonic, Super Saiyan, there's a similarity. So you get a nice balance of weight evenly spread throughout this pose that they sculpted it in. Turning our attention now to the details, just look at how good the head looks. It is slightly tilted down, but the face is beautifully done. The eyes look nice and sharp, and so do the lines above and below them, including the mouth line. I love this angry face expression. And then we have this huge hair piece that is layered. It looks like it's segmented in an individual flame-looking pieces, of which the smallest one, this one here in front, is the only piece of hair that is leaning forward, going across the face and to the side. The rest of the hair is moving up and over the head, falling across Goku's back. It is painted very light yellow, but then they gave it a little bit of orangish shading in front around the face, and in that way created both nice transition from skin tone to hair, but also a bit more depth to the sculpt. Here is how the hair looks from the back, and you can see that here we have almost no shading, and that's the only detail that is like that on this sculpture. Everything else is beautifully shaded. Here is how the neck and torso look, and we can see the over-exaggerated muscles of the chest, and even few painted lines indicating scratches like damage from the battle. But then just look how beautiful the shirt and tunic are sculpted with all these wrinkles, and then shaded with darker and lighter tones of blue and orange. It all follows this V shape here in front. There are also two different textures here. Smooth one on the blue shirt, and on the orange tunic and pants as well, there are these lines that almost look like lines that you get from a 3D print, but it works perfectly here. His sleeveless shirt ends here on the shoulders with even more wrinkles, and then we move on to the arms. Just look how great the muscles are sculpted. They even made sure that the sculpted veins are visible on few spots. We have more of these damage lines, but the shading of the skin looks so good. It makes for each muscle to pop out even more. Then we have these bands around the wrists that also look good, and after that, fisted hands with more veins and bones of the knuckles poking through the skin. Here is the blue strap belt around the waist, with all these lines making it less boring and more dynamic looking. And then here on the top of the pants, we have these sculpted wrinkles imitating soft goods fabric tucked behind the belt. And then even more wrinkles going down here, keeping that same V shape that we saw on the torso. And also the pants are bulkier at the bottom than they are on the top, so they look baggy. And once again, I have to point out how beautiful the paint job is here. We have darker orange highlighting wrinkles and then lighter orange highlighting those parts that the light hits the most. That gives the whole sculpture even more depth. And look how good the legs look from the back. Even his ass is nicely highlighted. And finally we have his boots, where they again did a great job. There are a few tones of blue, red stripe going through the middle in front and back, red bottom of the boots, and on top of that light brown ropes tied around the ankles. All in all, this is a great looking statue of Goku, and it has a nice presence on the shelf. We'll now compare this statue to mostly figures, because that's what I collect. But before that, I do have this Han Solo statue that a friend gave me as a birthday gift. The scale is obviously slightly different, but these two could still go great next to each other on the shelf. And then I have this big Darth Vader figure that I can't even fit into my frame here, but this figure does have few articulation points, and it was actually a figure that got me back into action figure collecting some 10 years ago. But now here is how this Goku statue looks to your standard 6-inch action figures. This is Mayfax Classic Suit Spidey and Daredevil. Then we have the SH Figuarts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Sentinel Peter B. Parker. Here is how he scales with Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spidey and X-Men 97 Wolverine. And then with AC Factory Ultron and Mass Toys Symbiote Spidey. And then to compare him to some larger figures, here is how he scales with the LPZZ Arkham Batman and Fonjoy Superman, NECA TMNT Movie Raphael and Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man, NECA Feral Predator and Savage Crucible Veteris Repax, and finally with YOLO Park Transformers AMK Pro Series Optimus and Starscream. So there you go, that was my look at JT Toys Super Saiyan Goku statue. It's a really nice piece that will look great on your shelf, not just because of its size, but because of the bright colors as well. The shading just attracts the eye. It is so well done. Guys who worked on this really did a great job, and I can only imagine how would a collection of these Dragon Ball statues look on a shelf. Who knows, maybe in the future I will review more of them if you guys want me to do that. So if you're into Dragon Ball statues, I strongly recommend this one. Once again, a big shout out to Salix Wholesale Toy Store from AliExpress for making this review possible. And if you want to get this Goku statue, you can do so over the link in the video description. But you've heard my thoughts, and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this statue? Do you like how it looks? Do you maybe collect these, and do you plan to get this one? Do you want me to review more of them in the future? Let me know all of it down in the comments. As always, a huge thank you to my Patreon and channel members for their support. If you can also join and help, please do so. Links are in the video description. And of course, to all of you guys, thank you so much for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.